In today's story, I don't get pissed off because I have to write a script about a clown. I get pissed off because I have to write one about someone who acts like one for not one, not two, but 3 episodes. Seriously, I can't believe this duel isn't over already.
Funny.
Set your cards face down and do nothing, all my fellow and feature outlaws. This is Card Games vs. Humanity, and I am that NAKAK Double G. Back with another recap that you know you crave. We're already over 60 episodes, and I'm not even getting paid for this. I'm kind of spoiling you guys, aren't I? As per usual, if you enjoyed, don't forget that sub, that bell, that like, hit up the Patreon if you want to support me, and leave a comment telling me if you're just as pissed off as I am at the lack of animation detail they put into Mystic Tomato. Seriously, you just wait. They did my boy dirty. Doing the dirty just like Yugi and Arcana in this duel right now, with the opponent down a whopping 2,500 life points from one direct attack already. Arcana says that Yugi obviously doesn't know the magician's code that they have to save the best trick for last, which would probably be a bit more of a significant statement if it hadn't just been 2 turns and you were almost dead already.
I gave you a chance to save yourself, but you've left me with no choice.
Let's all not pay attention to the fact that Yugi was only 30% happy when he was saying that. Unaware of his clear disadvantage, Arcana responds by summoning one of the most devastating and badass looking monsters of all time.
Let's get on with the show!
Okay, that's a fucking pumpkin. All Yugi has to do now is summon another monster and attack for game next turn. Something that unfortunately falls right into Arcana's trap as soon as Beta the Magnet Warrior hits the field. Activating Dark Renewal attributes both Mystic Tomato and Beta the Magic Warrior to bring back the Dark Magician from his graveyard. Also, I just realized this might be the one card Yugi takes from him after this duel, because he definitely ends up using it and we get no explanation of where he ever got the card. Uh-oh though, this Dark Magician is different. He has silver hair and longer eyelashes. I believe this is what the cool kids call a bad boy. You think you're a bad boy? Well, Yugi sets 2 cards face down and ends his turn. Then Arcana sets 2 cards face down and ends his turn. Then Yugi sets 1 card face down and ends his turn. Then Arcana sets 1 card face down and ends his turn. Then Yugi sets 1 last card face down and ends his turn. Then Arcana sets his final card face down and ends his turn. No, stop it. Don't you dare say that. I swear we didn't just go 6 full fucking turns without doing a single thing. This is an exciting show, I swear. After half the episode goes by, Arcana gets French as fuck, whipping out his guillotine and seizing the Dark Magician for the executioner's justice. Yugi somehow counters a Monster Destruction card with Magical Hats, a card that protects from monster attack. Unfortunately for him, Arcana has another one up his sleeve. That being Thousand Knives, another generic Monster Destruction card that I guess is a little bit better because it can just hone in on the Dark Magician regardless of what hat it's in for some reason.
I'll rescue him with Curse Breaker!
1, Curse Breaker's not a card. 2, that's D-Spell. They didn't even try to make a different artwork. And 3, it's not a fucking quick play. My chest hurts. My chest actually hurts from the level of cheating all in one move. We waited 4 turns to set cards and not crash each other, so let's fucking crash each other and destroy our monsters. Now let's both activate Monster Reborn at the same time, despite the fact that it's still technically Arcana's turn and end in a game save that's basically the same as before. Gotta love those duels that have a 9 chain link scenario that end with nothing on the field really changing, so basically it's a tier limit ditto. Arcana then does his best impression of Harvey Dent having a normal conversation with a stranger.
Look at my face.
Arcana reveals that he was the greatest magician of all time since Harry Houdini himself. Struck with money, fame, and this arguably legal blonde that he meant to have as his wife. Then because this is an anime and true love for anyone that's not already a teenager is not allowed, something terrible happened.
Something went horribly wrong.
Why the fuck did a magic trick about a man escaping a box involve any explosives whatsoever? Like, you think maybe a master magician would remember to take the sticks of dynamite out of his pockets from the last trick before he started this one. I guess it just slipped his mind like his woman Catherine. The woman that was so in love with him that she left him instantly as soon as he was injured by a tragic accident. Along with his entire acting career, surely no one would ask why he doesn't have medical insurance to help cover this, or why his fans left him because a box exploded. Literally, it's just because a box exploded. Luckily, the hospital let me leave with the bandages still on my head so I could roam the streets like a wandering mummy. That's when I met Merrick, a strange man in a dark robe that said he could help brainwash Catherine back into loving me. See, there she is now, revealed behind the stage door like this was all planned from the beginning. It definitely makes sense for her to be sitting there watching this insane duel between Yugi and a man she hasn't spoken to in months. We then get a clip of Arcana saying the one line that is forbidden to say in Yugi's presence.
They're just cards, Yugi, and nothing more.
Oh, he's dead. He is so dead. We head back to Taya and Gramps, who are doing a sweet-ass montage of them running around the town preparing for the upcoming track and field tournament. That's not very exciting though, so let's see what Kaiba's doing instead. As he seems to have gotten back home early and the harem didn't have time to finish cleaning up. Someone's getting fired. He reveals that Yugi still hasn't appeared and the dual disc system will only work if it's connected to a Kaiba satellite or a compatible system. Using his elite hack source skills, he narrows down the compatible systems in town that could actually work with Kaiba's system but are using ExpressVPN to hide their identity. This duel is super fucking exciting, so Arcana sets 1 card card face down and ends his turn. This duel is very exciting, so Yugi sets 2 cards face down and ends his turn. How do neither of these fucks have another monster? Arcane activates back into the dark to send Yugi's Dark Magician to the graveyard. But unfortunately, it's countered by Yugi's Mystical Rift panel, a trap card with some of the most confusing lines of text in all of Yu-Gi-Oh! So honestly, I can't even be sure if he used it correctly or not. It doesn't really seem to matter, as he was just using it as a decoy for his other true trap card that doesn't really exist, Nightmare Chain. He removes Dark Magician from play like a some Light Force sword for the field, leaving Yugi wide open for a direct attack for 2,500 points of damage. Oh god, it hurts! The dark and purple light particles are so fuzzy, it hurts so bad! That goddamn fourth wall breaking Dark Magician continues to exist as a hologram. It somehow shows genuine concern for Yugi when he takes a direct attack. Seriously, is Mahat in there like the entire time? Because it's only season 2 and I'm already suspicious. Oh yeah, Tay and Gramps are still characters in the show that are doing stuff. Conveniently running into Mokuba, who is conveniently running down this one street in the middle of town. Gotta love all this convenience shit happening real fast. It just makes the scenes where people aren't dueling that much more enjoyable. Back to the duel, it's Yugi's turn and he summons Big Shield Gardner for the first time, something I genuinely don't remember him using this early in the series.
I will also summon a monster. Say hello.
Bro, that's a 5-star monster, albeit a really shitty one, but if we're gonna make fun of Joey for making mistakes like that, we're definitely gonna make fun of you too. Arcane activates his game-winning card, Ectoplasmer, a card that can remove the very soul from his monsters and fire at his opponent like some giant concentrated money shot that affects their life points directly. Diving deep into the fact that Yugi will lose because he is too soft, these monsters are just pawns and we are the masters to use them as we please.
I'll have no more use for them anyway.
Seriously, why is Dark Magician the only one able to interact with the player or the outside world? Well, except for Doppelganger. But we don't talk about that. Arcana drains the soul of his own Dark Magician and fires it, but luckily for Yugi, Jesus appears to save his one true father. It's apparently this magic card that sacrifices one monster on your side of the field, affects both monsters, and just causes them to cancel out instead of doing 1,250 points of damage to both players and causing Arcana to win. The episode ends with me getting pissed off because this duel is actually 3 parts. Well, that's it for this week's episode. I want to thank you all for watching, and of course a shout out to all my patrons. If you find yourself as pissed off as I am that Mr. Tomato looks like the most poorly animated piece of shit of all time, let me know if you want to get together and start a riot about it. You know I'm down to honor my boy. He's done me good in the past. This is a man from Earth with all the girth, ladies and gentlemen. Be the character you know you're worth. Activating Dark Renewal attributes both Beta to the magic. 1, Cursebreaker's not a card. 2, that's D-spell. They didn't even try to get of it. Struck with money, fame, and this questionably. Struck with money, fame, and this questionably. Now let's both activate Monster Reborn to fight. Now let's both activate Monster. I can't say it.